In the Serengeti, survival is a battle fought on many fronts. Every moment is a high-stakes contest. Predators sharpen their hunting skills, challenging their prey at every turn. Ingenious defense strategies are tested in an ever-changing landscape. Family bonds forge loyalty, sacrifice, and teamwork. And vast migrations push creatures to their limits in search of food, shelter, and water. In this arena of fierce competition, any advantage is fleeting, and only the most adaptable survive. As the wonders of nature unfold across the Serengeti's timeless landscapes. The animals of the Serengeti compete for every resource. Food and mating rights stand at the forefront. Here, competitors become targets. And those who refuse to share risk even more. Yet the highest stakes belong to those fighting for status, territory, and survival. From cunning ambushes and subtle deceptions to cutthroat rivalries and deadly alliances. Nowhere is competition fiercer than on these open plains. On the eastern edge of Africa lies Tanzania, home to one of the last great wildernesses. Here, the vast Serengeti takes center stage, a thriving ecosystem teeming with life. Every creature is locked in a constant contest for resources. For predators, that battle begins with the hunt. Termite mounds are excellent vantage points, where both danger and prey come into view. With so many cubs to feed, this cheetah mother must hunt often. Once she commits to a chase, it becomes a test of speed. A contest she usually wins. A successful kill gives the whole family a fighting chance. Sparring among peers is one of the primary ways animals establish a hierarchy. Males begin more serious clashes with locked horns. These ritualized displays of dominance can be lethal. Out on the open plains, even a minor injury is hard to hide. A reality this Thompson's gazelle faces after straining its leg. Now, weakened and limping, it's a target for predators, proving that every contest for status can have life-threatening consequences. Young impalas begin honing their strength early on. Sparring in formative battles that grow more intense as their horns develop. Older, dominant males grow restless as their competition for females intensifies. They round up as many females as possible. A strategy that gives males temporary control. But it appears it's the females that have the males running around in circles. The dominant male is often so busy playing the mating game that a sneaky rival may slip in and lure away a female from right under his nose. As far as this male is concerned, that's a successful roundup. Mating rights fuel fierce battles throughout the Serengeti. What appears to be awkward necking between male giraffes conceals a powerful blow, strong enough to knock out or even kill a rival. Each species refines its own combative strategy in pursuit of status, territory, and the right to mate. These battles for dominance can be just as brutal along the Serengeti's waterways. A female Nile crocodile watches intently as two males square off. Each determined to drive away any competition and secure exclusive breeding rights. The winner will go on to mate with the waiting females. But escaping these showdowns without serious injury isn't guaranteed. One unlucky crocodile lost its entire lower jaw in a previous fight. It now ekes out a living feeding on fish and scraps at the river's edge. A stark reminder of what's at stake. Yet crocodiles aren't the most formidable contenders in these waters. Male hippos often fight to the death for dominance. The lead bull must defend his status against any bachelor bold enough to challenge him. Once one rival is driven off, his aggression can swiftly turn to the next. This scarred veteran has seen his share of fights. Yet the new opponent refuses to back down. Dominance here is never easily won. Both bulls threaten each other with gaping jaws and water scooping. When the newcomer finally retreats, the dominant bull seizes his chance. The fight is brief but decisive. The resident male reasserts his rule and exclusive mating rights. With so much at stake, injuries are inevitable. A single tusk can slice through hide like a knife. And some hippos can lose their lives in this relentless struggle for power. While dominance and mating rights help ensure the strongest genetics prevail, they are only part of the story. Competition in the Serengeti also depends on controlling territory and maintaining a reliable food source. On the plains, 5 young cheetahs wander into a solitary male's domain. He's wary of these new arrivals. Too many competitors for limited prey. Yet the 5 newcomers need a hunting ground of their own, and they have numbers on their side. The youngsters lack experience, but stand firm. As is often the case for a lone male, he eventually concedes. Withdrawing to avoid a battle he's unlikely to win. Lions take territorial conflict to another level. They will not tolerate any rivals competing for the same food or space, no matter if the threat is injured, old, or young. A mother cheetah confronts an approaching lioness, putting her life on the line to protect her cubs. Lions show no mercy to cheetah offspring, and even an injured big cat can be deadly. Perhaps the lioness's pain tempers her pursuit. Her frustration echoes across the plains. A fully grown male lion can kill an adult cheetah, but only if it catches it off guard. These teenage cheetah cubs haven't yet left their mother, but they're already fast enough to outrun even the mightiest lion. However, the mere sight of a larger cat still puts them on edge. 2 adult males are on patrol. The cheetahs have no kill, so for now, they're not worth the trouble. But lions don't just hunt for food. They will take out competitors wherever they find them. No healthy cheetah can be caught, but an injured one is fair game. The stench of death makes any animal wary. It's unclear if she realizes the fallen cat is one of her species, or even a relative. But she's clearly on edge. The killers may still lurk nearby, threatening her hidden cubs. Her only option is to move them. But relocating can be just as dangerous when there are predators around. Lionesses will fiercely protect their own offspring, but show no mercy toward other predators' young. The cheetah mother can only move one at a time, leaving those left behind dangerously exposed. Tragically, one cub is already gone. Only half of all cheetah cubs survive their first 3 months, and lions remain their greatest threat. After waiting for the lions to leave, the mother and her remaining cubs approach. There's scarcely time to mourn. She must lead her surviving cubs far away, knowing the killers may soon return. Eliminating rivals may secure your territory, but it won't guarantee a free meal. The competition for food can be just as dangerous as the hunt. Once there's a kill in the Serengeti, it's every scavenger for itself. Vultures base their entire existence on competition. Yet in large numbers, they hold a powerful advantage over a solitary cheetah. A single hunter can't keep them at bay for long, and the vultures know it. She'll manage only a few hurried bites before they overwhelm her kill. But then another scavenger arrives, a spotted hyena, and few can truly outmatch it in the battle for leftovers. In the Serengeti, hunting demands energy, precision, and persistence. So some predators let others do the hard work. Lions are masters of opportunism, often seizing the spoils rather than risking a chase. Far heavier and stronger, a single lioness can easily overpower 3 slender cheetahs in a contest over a kill. But then, a powerful male lion arrives. Within the pride, superior strength dictates who eats first. So the lioness flees, clutching her stolen meal. Not hungry enough to seize the kill, the male lion lets the lioness go, proving that sometimes it's enough to simply know you can take what you want. Along the waterways, the urge to compete can persist even when food is plentiful. The fish eagle demonstrates a different form of opportunism. Rather than hunt, it waits for others to catch their prey, then swoops in with speed and precision to claim ownership. The larger marabou stalks rarely offer much resistance, making the theft surprisingly easy. Fish eagles will even attempt to steal from each other, though not always successfully. While fish eagles exploit the skies, another predator dominates the ground through tightly organized clans. Spotted hyenas can live in groups up to 90 strong and are the Serengeti's most abundant carnivores. They hunt in teams and rely on a strict hierarchy, proving that competition can scale up dramatically when there's strength in numbers. Armed with an incredibly powerful digestive system, they consume nearly everything, bones and all. Yet even in their formidable ranks lies a pecking order that decides who eats first and who must wait. A single hyena can devour roughly 1/3 of its own weight in one sitting, far more than most mammals. And in these bustling clans, the drive to secure a meal sometimes pushes them to extreme measures. Like dogs, hyenas sometimes bury their bounty for later. But that tactic is less effective when your rivals can dive in and retrieve it. Female hyenas invest heavily in their young, often giving birth to 2 pups per litter, sometimes up to 4. They begin venturing from the den at only a few months old. Though not too far, with threats lurking both outside and inside the family. From birth, siblings fight fiercely, driven by an instinct to eliminate competition. When food is scarce, stronger cubs can even deny weaker ones a chance to feed. While hyena hierarchies can be settled aggressively, there's no doubt that females reign supreme in this tightly structured society. But hyenas aren't the only ones who understand the power of a strong bloodline. Lions, too, are strategic and merciless. They target the next generation of their greatest rivals to secure their future reign, not for food, but for dominance. The young hyenas aren't strong enough to defend themselves, and too few babysitters remain to protect the den. Forced to flee, the adults try to hide the vulnerable pups underground. In a matter of moments, an entire generation is wiped out. This ruthless tactic isn't reserved for just one species. In the lion's eyes, any potential competitor must be removed. Across the plains, another species is ruled by hierarchy and power. One that remains ever vigilant, wary of threats from both above and below. Baboons maintain a complex social structure, led by dominant males who defend the group and powerful females who shape daily troop life. They're most vulnerable when foraging on the ground. Relying on their alpha males armed with formidable canines to fend off any threat. In large numbers, they can mob and injure most predators. But when a lion is desperate for a meal, even a troop of baboons becomes fair game. A stealthy approach may allow a lioness to catch a lone monkey off guard. One baboon can sustain her for a short while, provided she gets to keep hold of it. Her pride is also hungry. And soon enough, the lioness is mobbed. This is competition, lion style. In the end, it's often the dominant male in the pride that gets the lion's share. Not every species competes within the family in this land of fierce rivalry. Some, like the African golden wolf, form loyal pairs that share rather than fight over food. He spotted his chance. A gazelle, recently dead from natural causes and still untouched by larger predators. This male knows the competition is coming. And to secure a full belly, he needs to be at the head of the line. And he's prepared to fight for his share. A marabou stalk tries to muscle in, but the vulture hordes have to make way for another. Hyenas, like wolves, are primarily skillful hunters, but scavenging is easier and less risky. Whatever meager scraps the wolf could get, he shares with his mate, turning competition with each other into cooperation for survival. Sharing is the last thing on these cats' minds. A lone lioness stands guard over her recent kill, unwilling to give ground to any rival. Yet two trespassing males appear, both intent on stealing her prize. Her submission may delay the inevitable, but when the second male arrives, tensions ignite. In the savage economy of lions, no meal is worth dying for. Even when a kill is large enough to feed many, competition doesn't simply dissolve. At times, a single carcass can become a free-for-all, where each species tests its place in the feeding hierarchy. Here, a dead hippo, most likely the victim of a territorial battle, becomes the main prize. Oddly, the nearby pod seem undisturbed by the presence of predators. And one hippo appears almost intrigued by the loss of its own. It doesn't take long for the smell of decay to lure in the Serengeti's most formidable, reptilian scavengers. Lions may dominate on land, but they won't compete with a crocodile in the water. Still, for such a substantial meal, one bold lion cub is willing to wade in. An adult hippo, fed up with the pride's encroachment, delivers a threatening yawn. followed by a mock charge. In the chaos, a clever marabou stalk seizes an opportunity to join the feast. Competition over a carcass comes with its own hierarchy. And despite the hippo's objections, the lions managed to secure their share. On the endless plains of the Serengeti, time is always against a mother cheetah and her cubs. Once she makes a kill, they must feed quickly. Each passing moment allows more opportunistic rivals to appear. There is no fairness at a kill. The size of the crowd usually decides how quickly rightful owners are ousted. The cheetah family knows they're fighting a losing battle, so they take turns to fend off the vultures, giving the others time to eat as much as they can. The mob invasion is a trademark vulture tactic. Outnumber and overwhelm. Yet even an individual vulture is still competitive. Faced with such an assault, the wolf goes on the offensive. But the vulture's tenacity prevails. Ultimately, this is the fate of many kills here. Whoever arrives in the greatest force or with the strongest resolve gets the spoils. In the Serengeti, vultures stand out as true competitors. Here in the cliffs and valleys, they've established a home base. It's cool, there's plenty of water, and sweeping views of their next meal. An ideal retreat to raise their young. Vultures may not be seen in a positive light, yet they fulfill a crucial role in this sprawling ecosystem. Under the searing sun, disease can spread quickly. By stripping carcasses clean with remarkable efficiency, vultures halt many dangerous pathogens in their tracks. Despite their gruesome feeding habits, they serve as the Serengeti sanitation team. While vultures scour the plains from above, tensions rise by the river where a baby hippo has recently fallen prey to lions. The resident hippos, now restless, find themselves caught in another confrontation. One that pits Africa's largest reptile against its most iconic big cat. The lions take ownership of the hippo carcass, and there's little room for sharing when apex predators meet. Nile crocodiles are renowned for their extraordinary patience. It's a relatively small kill, yet with stealth and caution, they creep closer to the lion's meal. One crocodile sneaks a mouthful, but both predators instinctively know the risks of an all-out fight. Despite the lion's aggression, armor-plated crocs aren't easily deterred. As one lion steps away, the crocodiles press in, and suddenly, the balance begins to shift. Despite the dwindling scraps, the croc's boldness might yet pay off. They have outlived the dinosaurs, and after 84 million years, they're unimpressed by even Africa's most formidable cats. For now, the lions still hold enough power to guard what remains. But these relentless reptiles will have their moment. Proving once again that patience is a devastating weapon. In the Serengeti, the clash for food, mates, and safe ground never truly ends. Every creature is a competitor in some arena. Each confrontation, big or small, shapes the future of these remarkable animals. Competition is the force that pushes them all, driving innovation, survival, and the breathtaking drama that unfolds each day in these untamed landscapes. Yet the story doesn't end here. Witness vast migrations that push creatures to their limits in search of fresh food. and uncover the secret lives of those who depend on water. As the wonders of nature continue to unfold across the Serengeti's timeless landscapes.